So there I was, having another YouTube marathon right before summer. The whole school year I've been studying hard, I've been preparing for all of my exams, and I have done mostly decently at them. And so, I did deserve the pleasure. And so, as I was scrolling and scrolling forever, I stumbled upon a particular video from this one self-development YouTuber that really caught my attention, and so I clicked on it, and immediately I felt so inspired to improve my life and become the best version of myself. Suddenly, I felt different. The life that I was living for the past 16 years got flipped on its head instantly, and I formed new goals inside of my head that I wanted to fulfill. I no longer wanted to just go to university and get a psychology degree, for example. I now wanted to improve my mental health, my physical health. I wanted to finally make some money and fulfill the desire which I had been overthinking about for the past months. And best of all, I wanted to improve my social intelligence. Just that one video alone pushed me over the edge and got me back on self-improvement, but this time on the right path. When I was watching self-improvement videos from that YouTuber, I was so incredibly inspired. Every time I would watch them, the flow state that I would be put in was immeasurable. Like the amount of focus that I was putting into his video and the advice that I was benefiting from, which they were giving me, it was just irreparable, if you know what I mean. And around this time, I heard a new term that I really started to like. It was called monk mode. And for those that don't know, basically, you know how monks live, right? They live high up in the mountains, away from society. They have these rituals where they improve their mental health. They meditate for hours every single day. They eat nothing but like rocks and other nutrients that come from nature, like for example leaves and I don't know, other stuff like that. They also practice martial arts. You get what I'm saying. Basically, the main thing that is important is that they are doing self-improvement on a whole another level. Because first of all, they are away from society, so they have basically no one from the 99% of pathetic people distracting them constantly. They can just do whatever the hell they want, and they won't get criticized for it. When they meditate, they don't get called a weirdo because he doesn't grab his phone and watch TikTok for hours on end. You get what I'm saying. Second of all, they take care of their physical and mental health. Like I already said, they meditate, they sometimes practice martial arts, and they basically have these rituals that just make them feel nice, and they indulge in them for hours on end. Third of all, they don't have to worry about finances, because keep in mind, they live away from society. Like yeah, sure, they sometimes need to trade with like the locals to get the candles so that they can see in the dark and other stuff like that. But besides that, they don't need to pay the electricity bills. They don't need to, go to work and work a 9 to 5 to pay the bills, for example. They don't have to do that. And lastly, the fourth point, they have other like-minded people right besides them with whom they can grow with. Under these conditions, a monk mode period on self-improvement is a perfect thing. But what many guys get wrong on self-improvement is that they try to do this monk mode period every single time when they begin their self-improvement journey without the fourth factor, without the factor of having like-minded men besides them with whom they authentically feel good with. You know what I'm saying? And when I went all out on my self-improvement journey in summer of 2023, guess what I did to that YouTuber with whom I authentically felt nice with? I just said to him, don't worry bro, I'm gonna make you proud. And I didn't watch him for, well, I still came back to check on his videos, but when it came to financial advice, I wanted to get it from other sources because I didn't want to be totally reliant on him. But that was a huge, huge fucking mistake that I did on my part. But that is a story for another day. And so basically, I lived my self-improvement journey for months without actually taking his advice. Sure, I was watching his videos, but I wasn't really taking that much action when I would watch them. Like, yeah, sure, I would take inspiration from them, the motivation, the drive that they were giving me. To make a long story short, I wasted like 7 months of my self-improvement journey when it came to fulfilling the wealth desire, which was one of the main reasons why I actually got back on self-improvement. And instead, I sought out knowledge on how to make money online from other sources, and all of those ended up being a complete fucking scam. And at the end of the day, when I finally realized my true purpose in life, and I found my flow state task of what I'm actually good at, just naturally, when I do it, I authentically feel like I can do it forever. And when I decided to combine all of this with some kind of a business model that I know it would work in the future, guess what happened? I circled all the way back to that same YouTuber because, as it turned out, they had a YouTube course which I instantly bought without even thinking about it. And look at me now. You can just look at the consistency that I'm putting into this channel. Anyways, the main point that I'm trying to make is that the way that you can make faster progress on self-improvement is to spend time with people who authentically feel attractive to you. And I don't mean in like a sexual way. I mean in like a knowledgeful, like a teacher relationship. And no, you don't have to have this insecurity of basically living just in their shadow and being totally relied on them. Guess what? The reason why you saw them in the first place, and the reason why you actually took their advice and started your self-improvement journey, was because they were already willing enough to give you that advice for free, and you would be a fool to not take their advice and to not take their help earlier. From what sources do you think that they got their knowledge, that eventually got their YouTube channel the success that they had? Well, it was books like Dot-Com Secrets, Influence, and all these books on communication. And just imagine how much less progress he would have made if instead of actually taking the advice from those books and he just said to them, to the authors I'm talking about, no thanks guys, I don't want to be totally relied on you, I'm just gonna find out the advice on my own. That's exactly what you're doing when you reject the help of the people that you love the most, of the people that you fuck with so hard when it comes to relating to some kind of a topic. There is nothing wrong with swallowing your ego and actually taking the advice from other people. There is literally nothing wrong with that. Every single time when you watch a YouTube video, listen to a podcast, read a book, or just basically listening to anyone and feeling inspired by their advice to actually change your life, to change some part about you, whether it's something small as a mindset shift, you have already taken their advice. And so, you've seen how much their advice had impacted your life in the positive direction. So you would be a fool, you would be a total idiot if you just didn't continue taking their advice and improving your life. Think about it. You're rejecting the hand that is making your life better, that is feeding you with quality knowledge, because just you want to go through the hard times and you want to build something for yourself, and you don't want anyone to interfere with your bad times. Fucking dumbass, bro. Imagine that one day You go to the gym with like your gym friend, and he had a revolutionary discovery just the day prior. He found the ultimate testosterone booster that is working for everyone. This is all hypothetical, if you couldn't tell. And you see the results, so you know that he's not bullshitting you. You see that his muscles have literally doubled in size just from one day of taking it. And so, when he asks you, do you want the name of this supplement that I'm taking? Would you turn him down? Well, that is exactly what you're doing when you refuse to take the advice from the people who already have the end results and with the people with whom you authentically feel nice to. Think about it. Why did you keep watching them? Even though you weren't taking their advice. That's because they naturally felt appealing to you. So you kept coming back to their content. So many guys just have this perception of self-improvement that it is all about just locking in and staying inside for months on end whilst you're building your agency. And you know you're not talking to anyone because you're better than 99% of people. You are meditating for 4 hours every single day. Oh yeah, monk mode period. Look at me, guys. In 10 months, I will be successful, even though my social intelligence is shit. I am stuck inside all day, so my mental health is getting shit, but that doesn't matter because I meditate for 4 hours every single day. They just think that it is all about the grind, and they left out the fourth pillar of the monk mode era, which is to have like-minded men besides them. I call this the solitary confinement mindset. Basically, you know how when you go to jail if you did some kind of a crime, and then you also commit another crime inside of the jail, so they put you into solitary confinement where you are basically all alone in like a white room and you talk to no one. That's exactly what you're doing when you're on this quote monk mode period where you don't talk to anyone and not improve your social intelligence. You cannot do self-improvement alone. That's why you need to prioritize your relationships more. And that's why you have to lower your ego, because you cannot do it alone. No one never did it alone. Not the authors of the books that you're reading. That's why they have literally a thank you section at the beginning of every single one of their books. Not a single YouTuber that you look up to did it by themselves. So you don't have to be insecure about the fact that 5 years down the line, when you eventually do have the financial, location, and time freedom, you don't have the opportunity to say that, oh yeah, I built it all myself. That's just, first of all, never gonna happen. It's just not possible. And second of all, how lonely of an existence would that be? You wouldn't feel the desire of finding your future wife because your social intelligence will be that shit. Like, yeah, sure, your body would look nice after like 5 years of constantly working out every single day and exercising, but you just wouldn't even be capable of attracting her because your game would just be that shitty. You get what I'm saying? No one can do it alone. Everyone needs some kind of a social intelligence inside of their lives. Some kind of people and closest friends that they can take advice from. And so that's why on self-improvement, we improve ourselves to become the best version of ourselves, so that we can attract the highest quality men. Those kinds of men that we can even cry in front of. Those kinds of men that will be our healthy competition and will propel us forward on a daily basis. Those kinds of men that we can literally shower in knowledge and they will shower us back. Those kinds of men that you see on podcasts, like for example on Andrew Huberman's podcast. And what we want to do is to, of course, be their friends, first and foremost. But also, we want their knowledge. We want to network with them so that the path of self-improvement is way easier for us. And that's the way that you can make faster progress on self-improvement. It is to swallow your ego and to accept the fact that no one can do it alone, okay? By the way, if you want to join a community full of like-minded men like yourself who are watching videos like these and slowly but surely becoming the best version of themselves, who share the same goals as you, the same values as you, the same likes and dislikes. Because I know how shitty it is to be constantly held back by the 99% of people who have no ambitions in life. They constantly tell you stuff like, oh, you should go to university because some guy 20 years ago looked at them disappointedly and said to them, you didn't go to uni? What a failure. They tell you to give up on your goals. They tell you to don't focus on self-improvement because it's all just all this matrix propaganda. They just want to keep you inside of this bubble. And even though self-improvement is basically just becoming the better version of yourself. Yeah, if you want to make mindset shifts that will propel you forward and will finally distinguish you and will completely make you invincible to the shitty beliefs that the 99% of people are putting on you to make you subconsciously fail, then something huge is coming for you, young man. But for now, you can join the Discord. You can join our clan and become a part of the family, so that as soon as it drops, you and the people in our email list will get an early access to it. And plus, you can even connect with high value men in there, even today. So please, join us on the path to greatness. But besides that, you can like the video, you can subscribe if you like, join the email list in the description and get yourself a free ebook about mindfulness. Comment on which part of the video you liked the most and which part of the video you will implement into your daily life. Don't forget to join the clan, you're still invited, and become a part of the family. And with that being said, thank you very much for watching this video, and remember, no one is better at being you